everybody. How are you?
Hi, Mitzi.
Glad to see you. This is yes. Ed Sullivan had been after me for years, darling. Thank you so much. It's Mom. To be on his show, and I said no. And he said, why? I said, because you have something like 2 minutes. You know, you go, Ma, and that's it, you're off. Isn't she wonderful? So, oh, by the way, I want you to meet my fellows, 1 second. Okay. I'm a widow, you know. And I'm very rich. Thank you, dear. Anyway, so he said, what if we give you some time? So I said, well, how much time? It's my husband, my darling husband, Jack Bean. That's the reason I'm alive, you know, it's because of Jack, honestly, you know that. And he said, well, how about 15? He said, 15 minutes on the Ed Sullivan Show. Never been heard of. So we said yes, we would do it. Now, this is October 2063, right? So he called Jack and he said, she's going to be in New York on Thursday. Why don't you have her come? We'll do some promotions for this show, for the, you know, for the Mitzi Gaynor show. Puff, puff again. 15 minutes on the Ed Sullivan Show. It's unheard of.
I don't even, yeah.
So I'm all teeth and eyelashes and all farted up, pardon me. My boobies and my ass and my thing and my legs and my footsies, and I'm all, yes, darlings, how are you? And he said, and not only do we have the fabulous Mitzi Gaynor, yes, kiss, but we also have these guys from Liverpool called the Beatles. This is October 63.
Wow.
We did the show February 64. I mean, people were ringed around the hotel screaming, Elvis, wrong guy. They loved Ringo the best. Isn't that funny? Paul and Ringo. So we loved them very much. We went downstairs for the first rehearsal. Bob Sidney, do you remember Bob Sidney? The choreographer, he was a marvelous man, wonderful man. And he was kind of all upset because some woman was on the stage and wouldn't get off. That woman was Paul, because Paul had long hair. That's
It's cute enough.
Yeah, so it was great fun.
Oh my, well, I just saw that and I remembered, my mother, that's Mitzi Gaynor, that's Mitzi Gaynor. And
Franny
I always
Gerber.
remember $2 and Hot,
That's right.
that you sang that. I have to ask you, how many times did you wash your man out of your hair in this movie? I mean,
Once.
how many? Only once?
Yeah.
You did it in one take?
Well, it happened. It was, 4:30 in the morning, the sun was up. I'm a nighttime person. Are you daytime or nighttime people?
Nighttime.
I know, that's right. Yeah. You have to get up and kind of, I don't want to, but you do, don't you? You do it anyway, right? So we went out to the set, 50 miles from any place, and I noticed that there was a little store called the Lehui store. That's where this big hotel was. 4 little cottages. Now, of course, I have to tell you all about that, too. Do you want to hear any of this?
Yes.
So please, that's why I'm here. Anyway, then I'll tell you all about my foot, too. You want to hear about my foot? Let me finish this, then I'll tell you about my foot. First, we're going to be here forever, How long do you want to stay? I mean it, don't tell me. 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you want. You can have whatever you want. So we go, bump, bump. We do the rehearsal, where it is up, da-da-da. And I have this little bottle of shampoo, real shampoo. They drop the needle, dump, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. And wash that man right out. The stuff gets in my eyes. It was real shampoo. Okay, oh my God, when you do, you're nervous in the first place, right? And the shampoo gets in your eyes. And you're crying, and you want to do this better than anybody in the world, especially Mary Martin. Who's 50 years older than I was. Ha, ha, ha. And she was also 20 years older than Rosanna Brazzi. Ha, ha, ha. My legs were better than hers. Anyway. God, I love you. Can you come home with me? Let's go. Let's listen. Let's forget about all this stuff. Let's go eat. Want to go eat?
Yes.
Yeah. So we did that, and then Josh said, "What is she doing? She's taking off her eyelashes. Save the eyelashes. because it took so long to get the eyelashes. Well, anyway, you want to hear all about that. So they got in a car, somebody got in a car and drove all the way into town to Lehui. And I had remembered seeing an ad for a little bottle of shampoo called No More Tears, Johnson & Johnson.
My mother used to give me that too. Yeah.
You were also 30 years younger, 40 years younger than I, so shut up. How dare you? How dare you say that you were a little girl? But you were, that's the terrible thing.
But I used kids use the Johnson baby shampoo,
Sure,
No More
sure.
Tears
Yeah,
formula.
right.
Yeah.
So the big one take, that was it.
Oh my God,
yeah.
when you had the No More Tears, you were.
That's right.
I know, and we've talked before about South Pacific, that it seemed, Nellie was like a huge role that everybody
Yes.
and his brother wanted. Doris Day, I read someplace that Mike Todd, when he was still alive, was trying to convince him to put Elizabeth in the movie. How did this come about? You had been at Fox, you moved to Paramount, you were doing Late Girls at MGM, and this was another Fox film. Did they just come to you, or how did that work out?
You have about 4 hours. Well, we went to see, is this right, darlings? Fred Zinnemann, who is doing
Yes.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to do Ado Annie.
Oh,
Huh?
yes.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I went in to meet Mr. Zinnemann, and I said, Mr. Zinnemann, how are you? And he said, Miss Gaynor, it's very nice to meet with you. I said, it's very nice to meet with you too. He said, you're German. I said, no, I'm Hungarian. So we chatted a little bit, and so he said, what can I do for you, Miss Gaynor? I said, I'd like to try out for the part of Ado Annie. He said, I'm very sorry, we cannot do this because we've already hired an actress, Gloria Graham. Who I thought was good. Didn't you think she was good?
Yeah.
Truthfully, no, come on. I thought she was good. She couldn't be as good as that. But anyway.
When she said you could be, she could be expressive.
You're coming home with us, you know that, don't you? Huh? Anyway, okay. So, but we met a man by the name of John Fernley. Remember John Fernley's name? Always remember that. He was the casting director for the Rodgers and Hammerstein Company. And Jack and I were in New York, and I wanted to do the Asian girl in Sayonara, because I have Hungarian eyes, kind of slanty eyes.
You want to do Misho Umeki?
That's right.
Miyoshi
Yeah.
Umeki.
Miyoshi Umeki.
Right.
Not, what was the girl's name that was the one that played she won the Academy Award for the Best Supporting
That
Actress.
was her.
Nancy
Oh,
Kwan?
no. This was the Asian girl, the beautiful,
Nancy
the
Kwan.
lover of
William Holden.
thank you.
Nancy Kwan.
Nico Taka,
Oh,
that's right.
that's what's up.
Oh,
Okay.
So, we're in the car, it's raining in New York. We're at the plaza, puff puff. And we get in the car, and we're halfway there to see Josh Logan. And Fernley said, well, dear, he said, I have a disappointment. I said, what? He said, Marlon Brando's gonna do the picture. I said, disappointment? Are you crazy? My God, Nico Taka. So, well, let's just call her, whatever her name is, I forgot her name in the movie, but let's call her Nico Taka. So, he said, yes, and he only wants to do the picture with Asian people, you know. Of course, I hadn't realized that he had hired Ricardo Montalban at that time. That bitch. I mean, really. Anyway, so he said, but he does want to meet you, so now we go. We get off the plane. I'm like this, oh my God, he really wants to meet me. By the way, this is Howard Hughes's engagement ring. That's another story.
Wow.
Thank you. You got the picture good.
She's great.
Well, I open up the doors, and there's Josh. He says, hello, Nellie. And I go, Jack, I know it's not Nellie. That I know. I'm not so sure about John Firmly, but anyway, that's beside the point. 2, 3, 4. We catch up. Hello. Who's laughing? This nice man. You don't even know what I'm talking about, probably. Yes, you do. Okay. Shush now. I'm telling you. So he said, you're here for South Pacific? And I said, blah, 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 blah. We were there for 3 hours. We just had the best time we've ever had in our lives. He said, she's got to meet Richard today. You know, Rodgers. So I said, yes, sir. He said, now listen. He said, when do you go? No fancy jewelry, no nothing. I said, well, my husband bought me a mink coat for our wedding present. Is that okay? He said, yes, but you have to tell him this. And I said, and just my wedding ring. He said, yes, just your wedding ring. Little tiny earrings. Because, you know, all my teeth and eyelashes and things. Even then.
He wanted to see Nellies.
Yes, right. So, the next day it was raining again, went to see Richard Rodgers. And he had a cold. He was in his library, honest to God, with really books. Well, you know, like Frank Sinatra used to say, I need 45 feet of books for the den. He didn't care what they were. I mean it. And paintings. I need some blue paintings for the boys' room, you know. Which is another. I'm having a good time. I hope you are. You're staring at me like I'm some kind of freak. I am.
We'll stay all night.
Okay, promise. I have a new place. As I said, I'm a widow. I'm very rich. Anyway, folks, but really, folks, I shouldn't. So I went to see him, and I wore a very nice little navy blue suit, fitted jacket, little full skirt. I know this. I remember this because it's like documented. Little tiny gold loop earrings, my wedding ring, and my mink coat. He said, Miss Gaynor, this is a very nice coat. I said, thank you very much, sir. My husband gave it to me for my wedding present. You know, I'm mad. And I thought he was going to say, well, what kind of girl is this from Hollywood? So we felt kind of in love. He said, would you like some tea? And I said, yes, sir. The butler brought in the tea. Would you be mother? I said, I beg your pardon, Bruce. He said, would you be mother? I said, sir, well, you know, I'd like to do South Pacific first before having any babies. I didn't know that, see, in England, I guess, to be mother means to pour the tea. So, yeah, he loved that. He said, well, he did. So she's got to go sing for Oscar. So now I had to go back to Hollywood, California, and I had to finish my picture with Frank Sinatra. Poor thing, somebody had to do it. The Joker is wild, thank you very much. Nice, no, God, what a wonderful man. He was. Got about another 45 minutes.
I love All the Way. That's one of my all-time
That was
favorites.
a marvelous song.
One best song that year.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Frank said, what's up, kid? And I said, well, my husband just called me, and he said that Oscar Hammerstein was coming into town for one day. And he wants to hear me sing at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And he said, yeah, well, yeah, what time? And I said, can't do it. He said, why? He said, because we're doing the big casino scene where I say to Joey Lewis, Frank Sinatra, I can't marry you, you know, I don't love you, you don't love me, blah, 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 blah. And they've got all the exercise, you know, hired. And this costs a lot of money. So I said to Mr. Bean, I said, what should I do? And he said, well, just talk it over with Charlie Vidor, our director, Hungarian, as I am. My darling. So beautiful a man. He did Gilda. Can I tell you anything else?
Wow.
Pretty good, huh? Wow. I explained it all to him, and he said, well, gee, honey, I don't know. He said, you know, extras are hired. So with this, Frank's talking about do-dee-doo-dee-doo. He said, what's up, kid? I explained to him. And he said, well, he said, Charlie, can we work around Mitzi? And he said, sure we can. It's up to you. He said, go get the picture, kid. That was Frank Sinatra.
And you got the picture.
Yeah.
Had you seen the play on Broadway?
No, not on Broadway. I saw the opening night of the Civic Light Operas.
Was it Mary Martin?
No, it wasn't. It was
Janet Blair?
Janet Blair. Yeah, she was wonderful.
And who was playing Emile? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Just oh yes, Richard Easton Huh? Anybody remember him?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Huh? Is that right?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. I have to ask you, you met with Richard Rodgers, and you sang for Oscar, and then, except for Ray Walston, everybody else was dubbed in the movie.
Yeah.
Why did they do that?
Because nobody else could sing, I guess. I have to tell you a funny story, quick. Believe it or not. It opened at the, can I say this? At the Egyptian Theater. Good, I'm bad. Sorry. And my friend Paul Rose, I don't know if anybody knows Paul Rose, but Paul Rose was a wonderful, marvelous man. Marvelous man. Paul Rose went to see the picture, and first and second act, so between intermission, I had to go to the boys' room. So I went in there. Two men are making whatever they do, and the one guy says, "You know that Mitzi Gaynor is the only person who isn't singing for herself."
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that funny?
But Rosanna Barazzi
Rosanna Barazzi
wanted to sing, and he had sung in Italy, or had a record or something. But
He did a picture called Summertime with
Oh,
yeah.
Catherine had.
Yeah.
and Three Coins in the Fountain.
He didn't sing in that.
No.
So he said, "Mitzi Gaynor, what are you talking? I'm not going to sing." So Rosanna, listen, sente, baby. But the most beautiful, the most handsome, the most gorgeous man in the whole world. You understand this? Mitzi Gaynor, I know. What are you doing? He said, "I'm adjusting myself." I said, "Yeah, stand off, for heaven's sakes. You can't do that." He said, "But Mitzi Gaynor." I'm like, so. I'm kind of blushing now, but it's not true. He did. Oh God, we used to hear them yelling at each other.
His wife.
Yeah,
Because
Lydia.
I remember that he was on the Mike Douglas show in the
Yeah.
60s, and she was on, and she was quite the ample woman.
Ample,
Ample.
300 pounds.
Ample. And it looked like he was definitely, she wore the pants in the family.
Oh yeah, that's
And they
true.
had been married since like the early 40s,
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
forever, even then.
Nadine, shut up your mouth. Oh, Rosanna, you international son of a bitch. Says, I love when you talk to me sexy. God, they were so much fun. They really were.
But they were fighting all the time.
But honey, you know,
Yeah.
like, I love you. That kind of stuff. They were wonderful
Well,
people.
what did Rosanna think when they said, no, we're getting Giorgio Tazzi or Hatzi Tazzi to sing as a meal? Did he throw a fit?
Well, they got, who did they get to sing for him?
Giorgio Tazzi.
Yeah, but they also asked Enzio Pinza,
Oh, wow.
Just before he died. I mean, I
Yeah.
think he died.
and he said, no. No. I said, no. I'm sorry about that. You raised it. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, God, I'm having such a good time. Hope you are. Anyway, so. Rosanna said, I dream in the summertime of Venice in the summertime. And so, we'd go to the beach every Saturday. We'd get a half day off. And my God, Rosanino, my goodness, Madonna. Never has so little fabric covered up so much Italian. Wow. My goodness.
Was his wife with him
Oh,
when they were on the beach?
no. And he used to walk around on half point, on half toe. And so once he said, boys, I'm going to go take some swimming. So he said, I used to be a champion swimmer. He's a Virgo. I'm a Virgo. Any Virgos in the audience? Did you pay for this? You're getting paid for this to be, aren't you? Who else is the Virgo? Did you buy a ticket?
Yes.
No. I know it. Did you? We're very tight with the dime, that's the reason I'm saying it. Thank you. Yep, there you are. See? Huh? Not down front, right? What was I telling you?
Oh, that his wife wasn't
No.
On the beach.
on
The beach. So he says, I'm
And he
going to
had
go by the beach. I'm going to go in the water, I'm going to go swim. So Rosanna on half point, half toe would go with all the gold necklaces and God bless you, dear. Really, I mean that. God bless you, all of you, because if it wasn't for you, there would be no me. You know, that's the truth. So he got up about 3 feet, and also there was a drop off. Help, 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 help. And I said, so Jack, my husband, in his little boxer shorts, you know, says, gee, honey, what's your dress? I go, save him for heaven's sakes. And so, Rossano had seen a camera flash something up here, see, way up in the mountain. I don't know where this all was. And so I thought, So the next day, here, all the newspapers were all around you. Rossano Brazzi almost dies of, you know, water and blah, blah, blah. And so, of course, Rossano is all on half point, doing one of his exquisite poses. And my husband's kind of going like this. And so everything was all about Jack Bean, my husband.
Right.
Almost killed Rossano.
What about, how did Josh Logan take to all of this? He had done the Broadway play, and, you know, he had been around a long time. I mean, did he take Rossano? I mean, did he kind of say, stop the shenanigans and act, or how did that work?
No, excuse me. We're talking about we had fun.
Oh, yeah, everybody had fun.
Everybody had fun. But when it came time to work, there was no shenanigans.
More than 101 pounds of fun. You had like a couple hundred pounds of fun.
That's right. You're so darling. She's so cute, isn't she, darling? Really, really.
I'm too old to be that Anyway.
I'm 86.
You look fabulous. Kiddo. You look fabulous. You look fabulous.
Yeah, but you're 50 years younger than I am.
No, I'm not. I have to ask you, now who was the choreographer of the film? I forgot. Who was the choreographer?
Well, that's a long story. I'd rather not tell it.
Okay. But you did, were there a lot of rehearsals and rehearsal halls before you went out on the sand?
No, we rehearsed the play.
Oh.
So we didn't even take our scripts with us when we went.
You rehearsed the play?
Yeah, we did. I mean, the movie, we rehearsed.
Right.
The motion picture play.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fun, because we knew that not one change of one word was going to be changed. Are there any questions that anybody would like to ask? Oh, you got another 2 hours? Well, it's a vascular kind of a thing. Yeah. And I almost lost both legs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that nice? But, this is the good one. Still, yeah. Thank you, John.
Favorite musical doesn't have to be one that you were in, but did you have your own favorite musical? And
The Golden Girl. The Golden Girl, yeah. Listen, I'm a Hungarian. What do you want? I got paprika on my tail. Is Eldon here? Eldon, where? Huh? There. Stand up. This man saved my life. He really did. This man, when I went into the rehabilitation place, and he read all of the stuff about me, it's vascular, you know. He said, nobody's going to cut off Mitzi Gaynor's legs, not as long as I'm alive.
Wow.
So, Beverly Hills Rehabilitation. Yeah, he's the boss. Thank you, John. Yeah.
Right here.
Whose decision was it to put filters on the musical numbers?
Oh, God.
Because I read somewhere that in Josh Logan's autobiography, he said that he hated it.
Well, it was his idea.
And it was sort of like to separate, like the feelings that were going on, to separate it from the regular
Yes, it was
day-to-day
supposed to be,
life.
Yeah, that's it. They make fun of Ballet High. Well, Ballet High is not bricks and mortar and stuff. Ballet High is dreams and
Right.
pastels, and
Right.
so that I kind of liked. But when the sky is a bright canary yellow and I'm turning yellow, that's
Right.
And I gotta tell you something. He and Leon Shamrock did not get along.
And he got an Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
The cinematographer.
Yeah, but he They didn't get along.
because Leon didn't want to do
He
the.
didn't want to do it. And they just didn't get along.
I read somewhere that they told him if he did it both ways, like shoot it with the filters and then just shoot it normally, that if he didn't like it, he could fix it. But by the time
No,
He
that's
said-
right, that's right, that's right.
the time he said, no, I don't like it, they said, well, it's gonna take a month, and it was due to hit the theaters, and they would never be able to get it to the theaters when it was due,
That's right, that's right, that's right.
you know, but that's
Did
interesting.
it bother you? Have
Yeah.
you seen the movie?
Yeah.
You want to see it again?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Also,
That part does bother me.
Huh?
The color filters.
Oh,
No.
it doesn't.
You don't like the color? Who said this?
It's
Why?
fine.
I don't know, it's sort of, to me, distracts from the scene.
Yeah, me too.
When I saw it the second time, I was 14 years old, they had re-released it, and I was like, what did they do, what is this? You know, because I just didn't, you know, expect it. I didn't remember it when I saw it when I was 5, like the filters. But
I'm
when
gonna
I
kick you one.
But I have to, do you know, in the, I think it's either in, There's Nothing Like a Dame, that the soldiers, you know, that are singing along, one is Tom Laughlin, who was Billy Jack. There's Jack Mullally, Ron Ely, and one of the nurses is Beverly Adlin, who was Errol Flynn's protege at the time.
Yeah, right. You didn't care.
Was he there on the set?
No,
Okay.
nobody came to visit us.
He did?
Nobody.
Nobody. Nobody came to visit, just complete working.
That's right.
And Juanita Hall, I mean, she performed Bloody Mary 900 times on Broadway. One was the first African American to win a Tony Award
Right.
for a musical in 1950, and she was dubbed by Muriel Smith, who did it in London. Why did they dub her?
Her voice was shot.
Really? And just in 7 years, she had lost her voice.
Well, honey, you know,
Right.
and she was older than she said.
Mhm.
You know, I was 26 when I did the
Right,
movie.
right, right.
So, and my son was like
He was 19.
12.
He was 16. So he was my dad's age, so he was 41.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he had been doing movies like since the early 40s
Yeah.
in Italy. He did that Visconti version of Postman Always Rings Twice in the early 40s and everything. So, but he was that, and Lieutenant Cable, he was
Your favorite.
my favorite. Has anybody not seen the movie? Can I say, two people, so I can't.
You haven't seen it?
So I can't tell I can't tell my story.
Yes, you can. It's 60 years old.
I was 5 years old when the movie had been out a few years, and I was 5 years old when my parents took me to the Tropicana Drive-In, Miami, Florida, to see this movie. And I remember I'm in love with a wonderful guy, and I'm going to wash that man right out of my hair, and there's nothing like a dame. And I remember Lieutenant Cable, of course, dying. And like 2 weeks later, I broke my collarbone severely. They took me to the hospital, they took me into a room, and there was this young doctor with glasses, and I was 5 years old and in a lot of pain. And I said, "Didn't you die in South Pacific?" Because he looked just like.
Like, that's a true story, too.
But Bill Lee
Question.
dubbed him,
Yeah,
and Bill Lee also did Christopher Plummer in Sound of Music.
yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's right. My God.
I have a question. Can I ask? Who was your favorite male, or not male, your favorite dancing partner and why?
Well, Donald O'Connor, naturally.
He was so good.
But Gene Kelly was a better partner. You know,
Yeah.
he had ballet training so he could lift me and throw me around and puff, all those ways. I can lay girls.
Was he a taskmaster?
Yeah,
Was he?
naturally. He was a Virgo.
But Donald O'Connor is so.
Oh, Donald was a
One-
Virgo too, you know.
But
Yeah.
he
Oh,
was-
Donald was a man. I mean, he was so divine. Wasn't he divine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Divine.
Yeah. Yes.
and a good friend.
I mean, when you see, not only, of course, sound, singing in the rain, but I happen to love I Love Melvin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he has some amazing numbers in that. And then, of course, with you, he's so,
I did
so
3
spectacular.
television shows with him.
Were they, were they your specials, or were
No,
they?
they were his. No, I did 2, he did a series called Here Comes Donald. I did one thing called A Date with Mitzi, and another one called Broadway Ballyhoo or something, I don't know. But Tommy Mahoney did the choreography. Anybody remember Tommy Mahoney? Wonderful man. Everybody's always wonderful. If you don't give me any shit, pardon me. You're wonderful.
Then you also worked with Jack Cole.
Oh, yes, my God, Jack Cole.
What made him stand out for you?
His whole style. And he was a taskmaster. And he loved me and I loved him.
Was Gwen Verdon still working
Yeah,
for him at that
Gwen
point?
was my dancing. Beautiful.
Can you imagine? That's how wonderful. So that was before she did Can Can.
Yeah, that's right, that's right, that's right.
Oh my God. She, and I have to ask you, because I'm a big fan of hers, and I haven't seen that much. She didn't make that much, but you got to work with her, Kay Kendall.
Oh, wow.
And I just think,
Kay Kendall was so marvelous. I never knew anybody like her.
in what
she-
way?
Oh, honey, she was so funny. Funny like you. No, I mean it, really. With your one-liners and kind of things, and I don't know, it's just, she's, oh, dear, I'm gonna cry.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to. I just,
What a way to go.
because she was married to Harrison then, right?
Yes.
And she never knew she had leukemia. He just told her, didn't like you have, you're anemic.
Yeah, that's right.
And then didn't you make a surprise package? Was that also Donan? The one you did with Yulbrenner? Was
No,
that?
that was, surprise package was,
I forget, but
Stanley Donen. You said
Right.
Stanley, yeah, that's right, it was.
because he made Once More with Feeling, and then he made surprise
Yeah,
package.
that's right.
And, Stanley Donen, if he won't talk to you much, if you mention Kay Kendall, he will,
Yeah,
But she's just so spectacular.
spectacular.
And you got, all of you went, all of
Did anybody here see Genevieve?
Yes.
Do you remember that picture? You were born, before you were born.
Dinah Sheridan and Kenneth Moore and Larry Adler.
Oh my God,
Remember the harmonica? And he was blacklisted.
oh my God. Well,
You also worked a lot with Georgie Jessel.
who did?
You did.
No.
But he produced some of your movies.
Yeah, but I didn't work with him.
Oh, but he had to have hired you and talked to you.
Well, I was on a contract to Fox.
Right.
So I went in to see him one day. He called for me to come and see Mitziland. You're Jewish? I said, no, sir, I'm Catholic. He said, with a name like Gaynor, Gerber? I said, no, my name is Von Gerber. He said, I'm Nazi.
Oh my God.
I said, thank you very much, sir, but I'm not. He said, a Katholischer. I said, yes, I am a Catholic. So anyway, we fell in love. I mean, a man like that, who is like, I was like 18 or 19 then, and he was like 65, thinking that he was 18 or 19. He tried to chase me around his desk once. He got so out of breath. I said, okay, kid, goodbye. Gave him a kiss on the cheek, and he wouldn't wash his face for a year. Wonderful man.
And you also got to work with Betty Grable and Dan Daly in My Blue
Betty
Heaven.
Grable, I love you, Betty Grable. Oh God, how I love Betty Grable.
Was she nice?
Yeah.
No, I was reading some stuff like she burned her daughter with a cigarette and all this stuff. I mean, I didn't know, so I was hoping she was nice.
She didn't burn me.
No. She was, they were showing Moon Over Miami a few weeks ago on TCM, and she was just so fabulous.
She was marvelous. She really was. Anybody here remember Betty Grable's pictures?
Woo.
We're too young. We're all too young. See them
Hello,
in
darling.
classic movies.
Woo.
And Dan Daly, he's someone
Oh,
that
Dan,
was,
yeah. Thump, thump.
Oh.
Dan Daly, I love you, Dan Daly.
and he was a terrific dancer too.
He was a good dancer, very good dancer.
And you worked with him What was it like doing There's No Business Like Show Business?
Marvelous, absolutely marvelous.
Ethel.
Ethel Merman was my best friend.
Oh.
Who said Ethel?
Ethel.
How do you know Ethel?
Who doesn't know Ethel Merman?
There's
Okay.
only one.
I expected you to go, yay, yay, yay.
Crosby?
She was marvelous. Went into the office, first day. We went into Dr. Siegel's office. Called him doctor because he was kind of like a doctor. And I said, how are you, sir? And he said, I'm fine, thank this is the producer of the picture. And he said, Mitzi, why don't you meet a fan of yours? And I said, who's that? He said, Ethel Merman. I said, but don't tease me, please. Please don't tease me. He said, I showed him your test, and she loves you. And she said, hello, kid, come over here. I'll tell you the dirtiest story you've ever heard in your life. I'll tell you the dirtiest story I've ever heard in my life. I can't tell you, but the last words are, I can kiss it myself. And I fell in love with her, and we were best friends ever since. God, she was a wonderful dame. We went, I got one more story to tell you, then I have to go, okay?
No.
It's not about South Pacific, but it's,
Tell the Howard Hughes story.
huh?
You're going to tell the story about your ring,
Oh,
too. But
okay.
first tell Ethel, then tell your ring, and then you can.
Ethel Merman was such a good friend of ours that we had an apartment in New York, puff, puff, on Fifth Avenue, on Park Avenue, thank you, Park Avenue, and 65th. And it faced the big hole in the ground called the Regency Hotel. That tells you how long ago that was. And Ethel said she's opening in a play and she wants to come and see me. And I said, I can't, Mom. I said, I'm working this day. I was doing a picture with David Niven. And
Happy anniversary.
happy anniversary,
Patty
right?
Duke.
Patty Duke. Yeah. Could stay here all day. I mean it. Boy, you know everything.
No.
Anyway, just let me finish it. So she came over at 6 o'clock. You know, curtain is 8:30, was 8:30. And 8 o'clock is half hour. At 6 o'clock she came over, her hair was up in curlers. Listen to me. This woman is opening in 3 hours, 3.5 hours, in the most important show of her life, called Gypsy. And she brought little Bet, her daughter, and her son, Joey. So they're there, and my husband said, what am I going to do for her? And he called me and he said, what should I do? And I said, well, Clifford, our houseman, we had brought out from California. Puff, puff again. I mean, really. You think I'm hot now. Anyway, so she said, listen, Clifford, you got a nice little piece of steak? And he said, yes. So she made him a steak. He made her a steak sandwich and a glass of milk at my apartment. And I'm sweating bullets at home, getting dressed now. So we're on the aisle. And it goes, bum, 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 bum. Sing out, Louise. She comes down the aisle. The audience is going crazy. She grabs my shoulder. She says, hi, baby. How are you?
Oh my God.
Wow. What a great story. Wow.
God bless you. Okay, kid. On and on. That's it. Now my ring. He asked me to marry him, and I said yes.
Howard
Then
Hughes.
And then I found out he was asked 45 other people. And I said, get out. And he said, but. And he said, I don't want the ring back. I said, good.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
I'm sorry, dear.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
They are indeed. Thank you so much. I'm loving it.
About Professional Dance Society and everything you give back to the community now.
Oh, honey, aren't you dear to say that? Why? Where do you go with this? Well, I'm president of the Professional Dancers Society.
Oh.
Yeah. It's for older dancers who can't dance anymore, or people with bad legs, or people who have to go and be with Mr. Tipper for 4 months, but he saved my life. It's about, if you're interested, how can we all get in touch with each other? I mean it. Listen, could you all leave me either your phone numbers or your addresses? Huh? And I'll send you all that kind of stuff. Do you want to? Huh? Please, I mean it.
Do you have like benefits? Do you have?
We have a luncheon every year. This year, we're honoring, hopefully, Liza Minnelli and Mitzi Gaynor. I've been president for 15 years.
That's wonderful. Mitzi.
Yeah. You're coming, you promise.
I'll try. When is it? Do we know the date?
It's in April.
April next. So April.
Yeah.
I think I have that date
Do you?
open.
I love you all. Thank you. Oh, what's up? No, come on. Not questions. What?
Oh, I saw you at the cave in Vancouver probably over 40 years ago.
Oh my God, you were 2.
No, I was not. You were so incredible, of course, and everybody knows you are incredible, but you still look so good. How did you
Yes.
stay like this?
Yes.
I said, I'm a Hungarian. I want it. I need it. It's good for me. It's really, you are so good for me. You're so good to me. Make me, can't tell you how I'm really to be here.
Oh,
God bless you.
thank you.
Love you.